Hello, everybody. Ads should be off by now. So, hello. 'Tis I, Broseph the Space Crusader Vtuber Guy on Twitch and YouTube. Hello. I see we've got Marmalade in chat and we've got Inca in chat. How are you two today? Good to see that you have been able to make it for some portion of this stream. Last time we managed to do 2 dungeons. We managed to finish the I'm trying to do this. We managed to finish the water temple, the lakebed temple, and we did all of this temple. You are well, hope you are too. I think my weekend visiting home, I may have caught something from nieces, but outside of that, I am in good enough spirits. So, yeah, I am feeling a little headachy and a little chilly, but aside from like that, which I can power through, I'm a man, I can manage that. We've got up next is going to be. Oh, hello, Mr. Is this Telma telling me to come to her bar because she's got people there I should talk to get the next quest? Oh, it's from Barnes. Okay. Where do I get a second bomb bag? I think one of them I get from the River Rapids game, isn't it? I get 1 bomb bag from the River Rapids game. That would be a good thing to do. Having a second bomb bag is helpful. Also, just making sure that everything's working. Also, as a reminder, this is my playthrough to get footage. If you would. Here's 50. How much do I have to give you? I forget. I forget exactly how much I'm gonna give you, but I'm not gonna be in Kakariko for a bit, so I'm not gonna donate to Malamart at this time. It'll be fine. Bum. Is it what, like 1,000 or something? Do I have to give you 1,000 for this heart? Have more donation. I wish I could donate in higher denominations because this is slow. Come on. Come on. This game knows how useless rupees are in this game and just gives you reasons to sink them. Okay. All you do is sink them into other things. Actually. Can I? Options. Brightness. Okay, there is no HUD thing like Wind Waker HD does. Okay. Inca, patience, young Broseph. Yeah, yep, that's what it's about. Do I have any bugs? Do I have any undeposited bugs? Hello, weird child. I think I might have gotten a bug or 2 to get more money from you. How you doing? I think I have. Yes, I have stick buds. I thought you were going to say, do I have any patients? Well, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really have any. And, oh, 50 bucks. $50. You're gonna fund peace in Hyrule or something. I don't know what, Old Man Sahaslara or whatever's doing. Badumchish, indeed. Indeed. There we go. Now the stick bugs stick together. $100. 19 bugs left. Do you just know how many insect varieties there are in the world? I suppose you're weird like that. Dayfly, Gerudo Desert. Boom, have the Dayfly. Give me $50. Okay, I'll probably hit more, oh, and it shows you the ones that we've collected on the logs and such. Look at how this place is becoming shiny and lively for this weirdo, bug-obsessed woman. She's something. I played Twilight Princess when I wasn't really watching him in game anymore, so I don't know much about it. It is a solid game. It is not my personal favorite Zelda. It doesn't quite make my top 5. Hold on. I'm gonna hit you with the recording screen so I can get some of this dialogue in here. Maybe it'll be a good B-roll. But I grew up with this too. It was one my older brother bought when it was just about new, like fairly recently new. But even then, it wasn't quite. Hello. How's Eyelid? I don't care. I'm sure the shaman will find a way back. Da, 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 da. Got your own things to worry about. Go talk to our friend Aishi. She's on the northern mountain. Gotcha. You know, something that would make this game, make me like this game a lot better, is if the next 3 dungeons could be done in whatever order. Snow Peak Mountain! Like, really? The dungeons, items, aren't used much outside of their own dungeon, or in the next one? Da, da. Boop, 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 boop. And so, like, having this whole thing was like, oh, my 3 companions have gone out to explore the world. You should explore the world and find them. That would be more interesting to me. Game is so gray. Welcome to 2007, air quotes, realism. It doesn't have much of a color palette. Well, it has a color palette. It's just a moody color palette. It is very gray in this particular area. Other areas, it's more brown and orange, because Twilight. And also, everything is muted. Oh no, you can't hear anything, Anka! Should I turn the volume up on the game? Can you hear it now? But I feel like it's also an overreaction from the backlash Wind Waker got, because it was too cartoony and had too much color. And Nintendo was like, oh no, Americans don't want to play Zelda games because they're too cartoonish. You're freaking Nintendo. You put this game on a purple lunchbox. You played that perfectly? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I find a bit, and usually I go for it. Another donation. Coming right up. Give me my heart piece. I really want my heart piece. Just because then I'll be done with this. Okay. One more, and I think that'll be it. Okay. Don't know how close I am. Yeah, I know about that. So next up is we go talk to Aishi, and then she's like, oh, you get a fish. And then I go to talk to Zora Kid, and he gives me the earring, and I go up and catch a fish for the second time it's randomly necessary to progress for some inane reason. I have no idea why they decided to make it mandatory, but it's certainly a thing. I could also, theoretically, on one of my runs, do the river boating race and get the bombs by getting a high enough score. I probably have enough money to do a couple runs of that. Boom. coming out. A wolf. There's a diamond in the background. It would be hilarious if you have an animatic where you're just describing what happens in the game. I talk to this person and I get a fish. Well, I could do this. I could play this like this. I'm playing it on the Wii U. So I'm diving. Here, I'll let you hear it from the crusty Wii U speaker. Oh, I'm talking to a fish. So what do you think? It's not a waterfall, splendid waterfall? This is one of the largest domains. Largest in our domain. Waterfall flows directly to the throne room. No, thank you. I don't want to climb up the waterfall. That doesn't make sense. Boom. But just like, go totally radio drama on you. You love it? These are the best graphics to ever grace the TV in the Zelda game. Look at this. Look at these graphics. Look at that text. Audio only mode enabled. Exactly. Only when I crank it all the way up. Welcome to my Twilight Princess ASMR stream. But I've got to go into full screen so I can get this cutscene. That's the waterfall. That's the waterfall. Alrighty. Let's get this cutscene about probably the most underrated girl character in the game. Most underrated girl in the game. Hello. Look at the snow peak. Only we're at the snow base. We're not at the peak yet. Hello. My girl's a furry. Broseph. I'll take the helmet off and shake your hair. There she goes. Looks like a snow valley. Yep. It's where I come from. What brings you to this dangerous place? Dangerous women. Ever since sort of colder than usual, yeah? I don't know that. Heard this weird story from the Zoras. Oh? Apparently the beast that lives in Zora's domain. That's always why I do what I do after I take my helmet off. Same. You don't remember this character at all? Yeah, she's only here for this quest. But she wears a helmet. That's why she's the best. I love her helmet. Look at her helmet. I like how her hair literally just didn't move an inch. Right? It's like stiff. She's got a lot of gel in that. It's peak. It's perfect. So yeah, look at this. And she's an artist. She's goth, and she does art, and she wears a furry cosplay helmet. Like, why? How is this not the best girl in all of Zelda? But it's not go without a plan. Well, my plan is to go to the Zora Kid. We know Broseph into women in helmets. Women in helmets, man. Let's go to Kakariko. Teleporting to Kakariko. Oh, hi horse. I teleported right by your backside. Next time you meet a woman in a helmet, boy, do I have a guy for you. Right? Also, bonus points if she has more than just the helmet, if there's like more armor, and the armor includes very large shoulder balls. I like that. Metroid has ruined my taste in women. Oh, hello, bug. I already have you. Okay, into the hole. What's with the ellipses? Father Evan. So you're not gonna say anything, don't say anything. 80s biker girl, got it? Sure. Hello, Prince Boy, Fish Child, You're done getting your nose scrubbed off by children? ... My mother came to me in a dream. She showed me your image. Uh-huh. So, you were told about me in a dream. Well, how would you feel about... What do you think of this girl's art? She's looking for genuine, like, critical feedback. Oh, so you recognize it. Gotcha. How'd your mother get this image? I don't know. She must have had a camera on me while I was changing into my fish suit. The red fish he's holding. Father Evan, did you just type out message deleted by a moderator? Did you just type that out by hand? Sorry you asked? I don't know. It's a reek fish. Stanky fish. With italics, yes. That's a good bit. I like that. That's a good bit. Boom! Thank you for giving me your jewelry. I got given jewelry by a fish boy. Oh, it's Fish Boy's mom. Gotcha. She no longer has it going on. She's dead. What I should be doing now? I will return to my village later, after you hit a couple more story flags. The mother and child rocks in my village. Oh, thematic. Fish are red. Yes, you've highlighted them in red words. Red stanky fish. Alright, back through the hole here. And then we warp all the way back up, because this game likes to give us the runarounds. Like, I could use this opportunity for side questy stuff. And in fact, maybe after I do the dungeon, I may just try getting a second bomb bag from the thing. Alright, back here we go. Can I unwolf? I can unwolf. I'm glad they have a dedicated button for that in this version. And by button, I mean a tap spot in the touchscreen to tap. Boom. The most graceful dive known to man. Also, Marmalade, thank you for the metal pipe. Redeems don't show up when I'm full screen recording because I want good footage, but alright. Oh no, I don't do that. I first go fishing by mother and child rocks, which are actually conjoined at the bottom, so that makes me question things, but you know what? Never mind. Hey, you didn't jump that time! Let's go! We're building up your metal pipe tolerance. Alright. Time to go fishing. For like the second time in the game. There's only 2 times it's necessary in the game. And this is one of them. And I mean, I get it, they want the fishing minigame, but like, also not much of a minigame. 25-inch reek fish! Post the pic of that and make that your dating profile PFP. I'm certain Ashy will want to go out with you after she sees you holding that fish. Okay, time to sniff the fish. I'm going to forget what death smells like and trade it for fish. I can now sniff the fish. All the sound is what matters, exactly. Be sure to hold it so perspective, it makes the fish look huge. Exactly, it's about framing, right? When you say it's this big, you want to, like, you know, have her believe it's that big. That's what happened. That's the ideal way to send women your fish pics. And I think, like, I literally can't progress until I've gotten this fish smell that will just, like, white out and put me back. Hello, Ice Wolf! Ow. You guys were a mediocre fight in Metroid Prime 4, I'm just gonna say that. Oh yeah, I didn't follow the fish. Close enough. Okay, I'll follow the fish closer, game. I'll follow the fish closer. I'll spend the entire, like, this chunk of the game not looking at the pretty snow graphics, but looking at the darkness snow graphics. Because that's how we do. Yeah, I bet this game has just a flag that triggers this path instead of having it be actually there, like the, there's the seahorse path from Majora's Mask, and the, oh, hi Ghost. I'm gonna tear your soul out. Boom. Icy dead people. Okay, now time to find the spot to dig the hole. Oh wait, no, I don't dig, I crash. Right. Oh, I go around. Never mind. It was the other one I crashed into. Go up these rocks. It's also neat how they managed to hide how, like, empty and uninteresting this area is by making me spend most of it in sense mode. Pop soul coal. Something along those lines. Okay, here's the snow I ran into. Whoa, there it is. Okay. Oh, there's a Wolfie Howley stone. Howl. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. There it is. Good boy. You howled correctly. Now let's... There we go. I don't know what this song is supposed to be a reference to. It's not a bonus song. They already have the ability to howl that one. Oh, is it that one? Wolf Vocaloid? That would be funny. Custom Wolf Link Vocaloid. Have him howl along with Miku. Wolfaloid. I was just at the graveyard to get to the thing that would let me get up here. Why did you put me back in the graveyard to get there? That seems like needless padding. I mean, if I did it after, but I want to do it now because I want to be able to do the probably helm splitter. Okay. Time to climb a ladder. It's ladder time. Do 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 do. Oh, I could have grappled up there. Interesting. Also, speaking of which, I don't need that ever again. And I'll probably... Oh. I also like how they've sped up the climbing. You can tell they've really sped up the climbing. Oh, okay. There's also in Ocarina of Time, Malin does her singing thing, and I'm certain that could be a Vocaloid. I know people have remixed that for various, or like sampled it for stuff, you know. Oh, here's the portal. Here's the warp. How many are popping down? Just a 3. Okay, where? There we go. Boom. Got him. And then we have a warpy here. So let me just get that. Oh. Hi, big fella. It might be Mortal Draw, actually. Let's warp back here. Yeah, it might be Mortal Draw. I know the last one's like Super Spin Attack. Or it could be the Charge Attack. The Charge A. It could be that. I'm not sure. I forget the exact order, because I do have Shield Attack and Helm Splitter and Backslice. I forget whether they give me Charge Slam or Mortal Draw first. Oh. Hi, buddy. Get it. Get it again. And finish him. Dun, ta da da da. How many do I have? 12. Okay. Take sword in hand and find you. Hey there, pal. Let's do this. I'm gonna draw the sword. You're gonna bite me and transport me to the astral plane or something. Awoo. Hey there, buddy. We meet again. That we do. Leave our bloodline. Oh. Our bloodline. So you are direct descendant of me. Helm Splitter was the most recent thing. I love that attack. It's such a flashy one. It's so, but also like, so hands, so tactile, so hands-on. I feel like I did it. Oh, it is the Mortal Draw. Okay, the next one's the Charge A, and then the other one after that is probably the Super Spin or whatever. The Full Health Super Spin. Da-da-da-da. Quick Draw. There is no defense for this. Instant death. Touch. Swords. Bam. That was a pointed pointed strikey. I mean, yeah, it's a sword. It's a sword, of course it's pointed. Boom. Immortal draw. There are 2 hidden skills. One of them I find in the hidden village, and the other one might be elsewhere in the Lost Woods, if I recall correctly. Traveling to Zora's domain. Cut this recording segment. Oh, not Zora's domain. I'm silly. Not Zora's domain, silly me. I can't be warped from the water. Warp me to the mountain top. The snow peak. There we go. There we go. Into human. And now we talk to the beast, who is perhaps one of the better characters in this game. I like this guy a lot. Oh, hello, buddy. Heard a ruckus, just human. You heard it a while ago. I went on a detour to go fight a guy. I see humans not often. On spiritual journey? No. You look for a mirror in such faraway place. You're lucky to meet me. How did you get the mirror? Did Zant break it and just throw it over here? Found a shiny mirror piece. Where did you find it? Like, it makes sense where the things came from with the... He's wearing a saddle, has a hat. Indeed he is. He's that large. His head is as large as a horse's torso, even though his brain is probably smaller than that of a horse's. He's wearing a saddle like a hat. That's like, he must be a fan of like Tomo Umari if you've seen her around. the horse girl VTuber lady. Boom, get on! And now, boom, Tony Hawk's Pro Sledder. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, gotta keep moving on. What lies ahead, only one way to find out. Must keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Yes, I am, gamer. Hello. Trust me, trusting in what you can see. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through, follow me. Even this is more like the level from Sonic Adventure 1 where you snowboard down a mountain away from an avalanche. Danger is lurking around every turn. Trust your feelings, got to live and learn. Something good happens, we'll make it through. I don't know that bit. No other options. Only one thing to do. Oh, we start at the top. 1080 snowboarding. Ricky Winterborn has nothing on you. Thank you. I never grew up with the 1080 snowboarding games. I know there was one for the 64 that I've played a little bit of, like on NSO. Just kind of as a what is up with this, and I'm with my bros, so let's just mess around with this. I know there was one on the GameCube. Like, it's funny how Wave Race and 1080 snowboarding were like these Nintendo series that just had 2 entries and then died. Ow. N64 Guy. I'm pretty sure there was a 1084 GameCube. There we go. I'll just take the safe route. I'm not racing the wife, so it doesn't matter. I can just take the safer but slower route. Whoa! And then still die because I'm bad at the game. Love it. Never grew up with the 64. Haven't played much 64 aside from the Zelda and the Mario, you know? Also the Banjo games. The Banjo games are good. And DK64. So I've worked on I've worked on going back to play through some of the library. The funny thing about the 64 library, actually, is it kind of reminds me of the Wii U library. Now, because mostly the big name games on that console were developed by Nintendo because they made baffling decisions that drove third parties away. And if there were games on there, there were better versions on other consoles. And then you had like a bunch of series that had been getting stuff like skipped it randomly. There was no. I'm bad at this. I suck at this game. Peak gameplay. This is how you play the peak. Although the big difference between the Wii U and the 64 is that the 64 like had more games made for it that people became like staples, whereas the Wii U, I mean, it introduced Splatoon, you know. It introduced Splatoon. It had a good Mario Kart. A generation-defining Mario Kart that only defined a generation after it came out on Wii U's, or the Switch, I should say. So, maybe not the best thing to write home about. It had a landmark Zelda release on it, but it also released on the Switch, and honestly, Breath of the Wild is thought of these days as more of a Switch game. What? Oy, oy, oy. Like, I do think the Wii U is 100% historically and game library-wise the weaker console. But that's kind of not saying much because outside of Nintendo and Rare, the 64, Wii U does have Metroid games. Technically, it technically has Metroid games. You can play Super Metroid on it. You can play Fusion on it, right? But yeah, I also am a person, Father Evan, who judges his consoles based on how many Zeldas and Metroids are on it. And also the quality of said Zeldas and Metroids. N64 has none. Yeah, it doesn't. It has Smash Bros, and that's the only time that Samus shows up. Thanks for the metal pipe face melter. How you doing? You're about to see me nail this snowboarding segment for on the first try. Whoa. See? Look at me go. First try, baby. This is for GoldenEye Perfect Dark. Lots of great third-party stuff. It does. It has less third-party stuff than it could have, given the cartridge format. It could have had Final Fantasy VII on it as a, you know, that defining game. Hi, you filthy lies. I miss Ebola. Yeah, we left Ebola in Kakariko. You just missed her. I had to go to Kakariko to talk to a fish and get his earring, and then I had to go back to Kakariko to talk to a wolf to get to whip my sword out, and yeah, so I passed the horse both times. Also, the 64 had Resident Evil 2 in it, didn't it? They somehow managed to get that on there. And you know, the lesser version of Mega Man Legends, a version of Rayman 2. It's like, it got quite a few. But usually the ones people are nostalgic for. There we go. But yeah. 64 was more like if you wanted to play party games with people, or if you wanted to play adventures or platformers. Then if you wanted to play, like, you know, the other action games or the RPGs, you got a PlayStation. Hello, Snow Wife. You have sickness, okay, don't eat me. You, ma'am, your husband's in the other room. Pretty thing. You get sick by looking at yourself in the mirror. How do you think your husband feels? You locked up on the bedroom. Gotcha. I'll tell you where the key is. Exception. Don't give me the wrong directions. Is the high-end audio crunchy for other folks, or is it just you? Uh-oh. We got audio issues. I could turn stuff down. I could turn off sources and turn them back on again. Game audio again? Really? Okay, hold on. Boop. Boop. Better? Better? Fixed. Gotcha. I mean, I have another, if nothing else works, we have another option. Thank you for opening the door. I could just play the audio like this. You could play the audio right off the Wii U gamepad as Miyamoto intended. Hello, buddy. Oh, you. Wife look bad, huh? Man! Don't talk about your wife like that. I mean, I agree, but... Fish. Making a salmon soup. Gonna smash the pot. No. Come here. Bam! Gotcha.
We talked about the smell of things last stream.
Yes, we did. There was a lot of smelling things. In this level, or in this part of the game, we forget how to smell death and we smell fish. And then after this, we have one more thing, I think. The next thing we need to do is become a drug-sniffing dog. So we went from...
So we went from woman to child to woman to woman.
No, the first thing we learned how to sniff face melter was child. That's the first thing we learned how to sniff. And then we went to woman. And then we went to death. And I see what you're doing with the whole joke about fish. I see what you're doing.
So we went child, greater than woman, greater than woman, greater than woman, as I was saying.
Something along those lines. If you want to be crass about it. Easy sliding block puzzle. Easy sliding block puzzle. into this courtyard. And then we dig. Diggy hole. And now, oh. Snope Eek. Snope Eek Ruins. Come here, dog. Just real quick. Dig out chest and get the key. Okay. No. Undog. Undog yourself. Undog yourself. There we go. And now, there's like a thing, I think. Where if I get damage boosted while jumping on the thing, I can jump over that and skip half the dungeon. I haven't been playing it like that. Okay. They want me to wolf. They want me to wolf it up so I can be on top of the snow. Also, $20. Okay. Get bit. Get bit. Get bit. Get bit. Get bit. All right. Die. Boom. Die. Now, if you don't mind, leave me alone. And we go through here. Right. You get hit twice. You're just curling. You guys are just curling. Boom. Open the door. Oh no, the door's locked until I fight these three guys. Come here. Ow! That was my knee! Sure. What if? Okay, here's a thought. I just learned the mortal draw. I'm gonna do something stupid. Or do that. That works, I guess. That kills him. I guess I can pinch him. I didn't know I could pinch him. Had no clue I could pinch him. Oh, chest. Wow, look at the window thing that shows a chest in there. In the room, marked as on my map as having a chest. Like, if I look at the map, it's, oh, this is the room marked with having a chest that's important. Wow. Thank you. I needed that zoom in. That was a very necessary use of cutscene. Not sure if there's a chest in there. Oh, you might be right. There might not be. So good. And then you're gonna zoom in on. No, you didn't zoom in on the chest. If you don't zoom in on the chest, I might not notice there's a chest marked in that position of the map. Pumpkin. Are you sure this isn't the key to her bedroom? Who's to say the key to her bedroom isn't the pumpkin? Maybe this is a Zelda dungeon after all. Maybe they're just being creative about it. Alright, here's the block pusher room. What did they keep in this metal box? Why are there such metal boxes around? Oh, that's one way. Or did it just want me to go talk to the guy? Be my next video idea? What? The zoom in on the chest and the very obviously yell at the top of their voice and tell instead of show. You know what? I'm gonna use up all my oil in my lamp, and then I'm gonna grab have some pumpkin. Pumpkin? Pumpkin? No, your wife's in the other room. Can't wait for you to
Can't wait for you to shoot cannons at ice monsters.
That's one of the highlights of this. But the even better part is when I can, like, throw things at them. No, what are they keeping? Oh, what are they keeping in the boxes? Like those Zonai videos that came up before Tears of the Kingdom. I've actually seen a very good video theorizing what the ruins used to be, like how they might be some kind of outpost for the Hylian Royal Guard back in the day. Also, Retro Man, hello! Needs more punch? Need something? Well, I don't have any punch. I could get red chew jelly, that's kind of like punch.
Broseph, a second cannonball has hit the ice monsters.
Come now, Face Mouser. Not everything needs to be turned into Advanced Wars. Alright. You gave me bunk information, ma'am. Pumpkin? But why there? The fever is making your head... Can you turn your microphone volume up a little, please? Alright. Better? I can also turn the game slightly down. How about this? Where'd you leave it? Maybe in the cheese room. Don't do both? Don't do both. Okay, I'll turn the game back up a little. Okay. How's this balance there? How's this balance there, Mayo? Boom. Marked on the map, and then you open the door.
Play a little so I can check balance.
Oh, I can't slice my sword in here because I can't whip my sword out in front of the guy's wife? That's understandable. Well, instead, let me just go in this room, where I can whip my sword out in private without her looking. Come on. Don't know why you can't whip. Yeah, I know, exactly.
Whip the sword out in front of the lady when she doesn't give you a choice later.
Yeah, the room is more or less counts as an NPC room despite being part of the dungeon. Exactly. Right. She takes me up to her bedroom before I can whip my sword out. That, I think that might be issues. That might be a problem. She should talk things over with her husband, I think. You have to do exactly.
You have to do it in front of the mirror.
Exactly. Like specifically. Like, I understand the appeal, I guess. She is a monster in the bedroom. Why am I making this joke? Why am I making this joke? Hold on. Broseph, are you... Come on. You're better than that. Get yeeted on. Get yeeted on. Do. Yeet. And then... Yeet. That was stupid. There we go, there we go! Now we load this into here. Bloomy. Give me the money. Oh, it's bombs?
Double-faced why Inuit.
Something along those lines. Man, what a two-faced woman. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Like, it's funny how actually integral to Zelda's identity and formula bombs are. Like, bombs are a core piece to the Zelda game puzzle. They just kind of are. It really doesn't feel like a Zelda game if you don't have bombs. Directed by Michael Bay. No Westball, actually. I haven't seen any Westball movies. Apparently the one Planet of the Apes movie he did was good. The Maze Runner movies, your mileage may vary, apparently. Come on. There would be more explosions with Michael Bay. There probably would. He should do the Morshu movie then. He should do the Majora's Mask movie. Michael Bay should do the Majora's Mask movie, and then they should change the Great Bay to the Michael Bay. And he should run around in the Michael Bay temple. And it should have egregious shots of, what is her name? Oh, why am I blanking on Megan Fox. That's what it is. They should cast Megan Fox as, like,
You think
Ruto or whatever.
after defeating Ganondorf, he's putting that into his LinkedIn?
His LinkedIn account? It's part of his resume. Megan Fox. Yes, that was the name I was trying to remember. Oh, right, no, I forgot. I had to go up. This room makes me go up. There's verticality. There is verticality. I need to do it from over there. So I need to do the whole platforming section over again. There we go. Boom. Although right now I think Mr. Bay is too busy doing the Skibbity Toilet movie to do Zelda. Where? Was there actually nothing in here? Was I mistaken? Ugh, indeed, Marmalade. Ugh, indeed.
You think when Link is making sure he's getting descendants, he's also linked in?
He is making sure they're linked to the past. That's for sure. Actually, can I need shells. And I don't have any keys. I don't have any keys. You have one. Oh, is it? Hold on. Is there a place to dig? There we go. Here's where it is. Get. Open. There we go. There we go. And now we go in here. Okay. Now that is a shortcut from later. And so now we go to the room where I grab the ball. Alright, pass through cannonball. Why are you so nimble? Stop being nimble. I'm trying to move a ball over here. Come on. We insert the ball and insert the other bomb. And now I can rotate. Is that more bombs? They might have put more bombs in there. Ba, da, 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 da. It's more bombs. Let's go. Okay. And then from here, we drop, and we drop. Get destroyed ice thingy. And next we will fight the big fella. Yep. Let me have a snow. And then poke, poke. I'm gonna cut a segment and then start a segment. Open the door. Run all the way to the other side. Oh, door oh no! What's going on? Something's whooshing. I think I heard a whoosh. Hey there, pal. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's got a big ball. Run right past you. Ouch. Oh, ouch, okay. Okay, remembering the rhythm of this fight. Come and get close, buddy. Come and get close.
Hi, in this dungeon, Link can whip out his channel singular balls.
Okay. Ouch. Wow. Wow. You are a pushover. My goodness. Explode. Nice. Grab his ball. I have taken this guy's ball. All right. Now to the cheese room. Bam. Throw my ball and chain to the wall. All the way to the wall. From the window to the wall. Oh, a cheese donut. Food again? Hey, this is good, like, refrigerated. This whole house is a walk-in fridge, so it's probably still really in good condition. Also, both of those things are from Ordon. Both of those foodstuffs are from Ordon. Interesting. Hey, fellas. Come here. That was a weird angle. Ow. Wish I had snow boots in this game. Yeet. Yoink. Ow. Did you reuse the animation that the hero's shade uses when jumping on my head? I think you reused the animation the hero's shade uses when jumping at my head. I'm just gonna sit here like this. I'm gonna swing my arms around, Lise, and if you get hurt, it's your fault. AFK gaming. You guys do not learn. I am an impenetrable wall. More like an impenetrable wall. Okay. Fun as that is, let's head back to wife room. Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm afraid I only found cheese. Cheese, yes. Cheese! We were just about to have some cheese, oh boy. Take the cheese to husband. Oh, I need to give him the cheese first. You need to make the soup. So I'll go in here. I should have just walked in here and given you the cheese. Hey, buddy. Hello, Sea Dog. Welcome. Getting footage. I have, huh? Oh! Cheese. And for whatever reason, fish and cheese and pumpkin makes a really good soup. Has someone tried to make this in real life? I wonder if someone's made, like, a cheesy salmon pumpkin soup.
Something about Twilight's princess sound font. Sound language really tickles my brain.
It does have very distinctive sound design, does it not? It does have quite distinctive sound design, even uniquely among the Zelda series. Which is kind of funny when this became like the default Zelda sound effect thing to reference for like the entirety of the Wii U era, even after Skyward Sword had its own thing going on. They still kept using Twilight Princess, mostly because that also had Ganon and Zelda. Ooh, I thought I saw. There's flowers embroidered. Okay, it's not quite a Sheikah Eye, but it's adjacent enough to remind me. Okay, give me the money. Show me the money. But I feel like when they came to like the first Hyrule Warriors, a lot of the UI elements and a lot of the sound effects and such were very Twilight Princess coded, as opposed to the more recent game or any games from the past. You know? And then blam. Gimme. Stamp the Q. Those games should have shrines like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I, for one, would not mind shrines, actually, Sea-Dog. I would not mind if there were shrines, but I think there should be, like, maybe 50 tops, and then all the rest of that dungeon development should go all the way into full dungeons. Hello, Hooli. How are you today? I do really like the Breath and Tears formula of overworld with, like, significant things to find in it. But I also agree that, like, it doesn't stick the landing entirely, you know? And so, finding more of a middle ground should be the priority, I think, for whatever the next major 3D Zelda is. A little bit. Sea-Dog brought it up, and honestly, I'm playing a Zelda, so it's as appropriate a time as that. Quality over quantity. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see if I can recall how to do this. Map a little smaller? Yes. I could take a world map about half the size of Breath and Tears if it was if that meant it was twice as dense. Abilities and combat and upgrading health. I think having the freedom of choice as to whether you wanted to upgrade your health or your stamina is a good thing. I don't mind their purpose because it's consistently rewarding is the thing. Like I would want them to be consistently rewarding. Imagine going into a shrine and then getting like a pair of boots that are just objectively worse than the boots you already have. And it's like, oh, had I found this earlier in the game, this might have been helpful. But like, But whereas getting, you know, a method to upgrade your health or stamina or magic meter, please come back, those would be consistently rewarding and also encourage freedom. They've ruined games, so many games forced the Breath of the Wild model in the design. That is the thing. Like, people don't... The industries, in general, industries as a rule, do not... They do a very bad job of... taking success and turning it... and misinterpreting why it's successful. You know? They look at a success and completely fail to, like, comprehend what about it is the thing that made it successful. They just say, oh, let's copy this formula. They see a formula to copy and not a mindset to embody, you know? Game people liked, or games to copy that for the exact next 10 years, right? Like, I love Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna outwardly blame it for Metroid Prime 4, because frankly, a lot of what Metroid Prime 4 did feels actually more like an evolution of the things I didn't like about Prime 3, but that's something that will make some fans unhappy to hear. I think we were already on a Prime 4 trajectory from Prime 3, but at the same time, yeah, Breath of the Wild was also like, oh, people like open world, people are calling for more open world games. Let's hide the only meaningful optional upgrades behind formulaic shrines. And while those puzzles were good, there were some good puzzles. They were decent little Metroid Prime puzzle rooms, but they should have been a reason to give the areas, you know, a little more backtrackability. The thing about Zelda is, like, it worked for Zelda because it's always been open fields and dungeons are the dichotomy, right? For open world, because the whole point is exploration in open world is the only way to... Not the only way to... It is not the only way to have fun in an exploration game. And, like, you know, some people would say it doesn't belong in Zelda. I would argue, you know, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past, right? Even Ocarina of Time, you could do... Ocarina of Time has more open-endedness to its progression than people like to give it credit for. And I feel like going anywhere, anytime you want, like Breath of the Wild did, feels more in the... Breath of the Wild is on the opposite end of the spectrum. It feels as distant, if not less, than Skyward Sword did to Ocarina, you know? But, like, Metroid in general has never had the openness, the open world and dungeon dichotomy. It's always been, what if this was an entire huge mega dungeon, and then in this mega dungeon, you could, you know, instead of traversing it like Zelda, you traversed it like Mario. Never forget Breath of the Wild 4's Link's no longer a green boy. Green's not entirely the case, Sea Dog. The Link from Echoes of Wisdom wears the green hat. He just also wears the hoodie. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What do we think of a Tower of the Gods style dungeon in 3D?
The cloak Zelda gets was worn by Link at the beginning of Echoes of Wisdom. Wait a minute. Remember, some of you, I'm certain, have seen the clapperboard for well, Project Umami, I guess. But for the Zelda movie, right? There was that cool image of Link with a cloak and stuff. It's Link in a cloak with, like, the green tunic, and Zelda is with him for parts of the adventure. Are we getting the Echoes of Wisdom movie? Are we getting the Legend of Girl Boss Echoes of Wisdom? I doubt it. But, like, I bet a movie could tackle the lore and overall story of Echoes of Wisdom pretty well. Have Link and Zelda do more of it together, or have them do it separate on their own. But a Tower of the Gods style dungeon in 3D, Face Melter, we have that. It's called the Tower of the Gods in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Hi, buddy. How you doing? I would see Null in the Zelda movie. I'll go crazy. That would be kind of sick. It would be a neat. It would also be a way to escalate from Ganon in a way that like feels natural-ish. You're talking about the Spirit Tracks Tower. That's the Tower of Spirits. That is the Tower of Spirits. And also the Temple of the Ocean King? From the other one? Tomato, tomato. But like, some place you return to and make more progress in, or like learn better, like, that could work. That could, honestly, I'm not like against that format, even in the original Spirit Tracks / Phantom Hourglass. I do think the execution is clunky. The execution of a lot of things in those games are clunky because it's the DS, and they insisted upon using DS controls, which I am not a fan of. But I think conceptually having a dungeon you return to over the course of the game that like changes context. Ow. There we go. That's probably just a stamp. Probably used to was money, but is no longer. I just blocked you with my ball. Get ball blocked. Ow. Grab you. Gonna pinch you. Come on. Yeet. There we go. Physics. Physics. Open this. Get the stamp. Oh, it's a heart piece. Never mind. Oh, I collected 5. Let's go. Actually, you know what would be kind of neat? Is if they made a sequel to Spirit Tracks, tune art style and all, and they did bring back that central tower gimmick, and that was the next major 3D Zelda. We got, like, a sequel to Spirit Tracks set, you know, afterwards in that thing. Like, it's all, I've said this before, I'm certain, but, like, a post-Spirit Tracks steampunk Zelda would actually kind of be great. I'm kind of interested in that. 3D, exactly. Give us more new Hyrule. Give me more map information about new Hyrule to see if it relates at all to like Holodrum or Labrena or other places outside or the North Continent, right? I would love to see some of that lore. Like a central dungeon with progress.
Progress being Hyrule Castle.
Sure. Sure. Have like a Hyrule Castle that's your hub where you get like things. I believe that was the plan for Ocarina of Time originally, actually. Like there's interviews and stuff archived where it's like, if we couldn't get the field to work, we were gonna make the hub world. We were gonna make it like Mario 64, where Hyrule Castle or Ganon's Castle is like the hub world that you jump between paintings and you go to the various dungeons and levels and areas. Which, that's Triforce Heroes, actually. That's Four Sword Adventures. That's what that would look like. Get crushed by my immense ball. Come on. There we go. You know what? There we go. You can, or online, but yeah, I honestly think Triforce Heroes is, it might be the best of the multiplayers. Four Sword Adventures has the best single player, probably. But then again, I also haven't beaten Triforce Heroes because I got through, like, the first areas with my brothers, and then one of our 3DSs that we had collectively had a bunk hinge, and we're like, we're not going to push that. We're not going to push it. Put it away. Hup. Okay. Also, is that the Wind Temple? Is that the castle in the sky? Is that a picture of the castle in the sky? Or is it the picture of Hyrule Castle? No, it's a picture of Hyrule Castle, isn't it? Yeah. Then there's Princess, or Queen Rutella. Don't know why they have her portrait on the wall. I have her earring in my pocket on my fish hook. Okay. What about solo mode of Triforce Heroes? Well, the thing about that is, I don't want to progress without... I want to do it with my brothers. I started it with them, I want to end it with them, you know? Don't make that weird. Okay. So there's that room. Okay. I need to, what? Do something in the middle room here. Okay. Boop. Restart this. You know, maybe I just do the precise timing trick. Come on. Okay. Are the Yetis in this game related to the Yetis and Echoes of Wisdom? If I had to guess, I would say that they are likely the same species. They are the same type of creature. Whether they're direct descendants or relatives, I do not know. They are also, may I remind you, in a different section of the timeline. They are not, in fact, they're in the downfall timeline rather than the child timeline. So they may just be like parallel-ish to them. Although Echoes probably takes place further removed. Probably takes place further removed from Ocarina of Time than this one. So if anything, they would be parallel descendants? Maybe?
And I want a Zelda game again where the 100% is actually fun.
Yeah, like Breath and Tears are. I haven't bothered 100%ing them. Honestly, the only Zelda game I like feel compelled to 100% every time I play is Wind Waker. Mostly because I feel like that one has a better checklist of things to do. I feel like also it's the one I grew up with and the most familiar with, so there's also that. This game is, in my opinion, not as fun to 100%. Okay, bye. I don't think, actually, I've never 100% this game. The Pose Souls are just, I've never gotten past them. It's the stupid day-night cycle BS, man. Stupid day-night cycle BS. Although I think this version of the game is probably going to be the version to do because it actually keeps track of things on the map screen.
Obviously the best game to 100% is Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
Ah, yes.
100% Twilight Princess a couple of times even without a guide as a kid.
Well, look at you, buddy. You want a medal? No. I don't know. Wind Waker does... looks like it would be my favorite Zelda game to get to on a Switch. First two... Oh, sure. Well, if you have the Nintendo Switch 2 system, you can get it for... You can get it on NSO. Okay. Let me see if it was this way. I played Ocarina of Time 3D, Link Between Worlds, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, and it's hard to say which is your favorite. You know, those are all solid candidates for a favorite. Link Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild are in my top 5. Ocarina of Time 3D is a solid number 6. And then Tears is a little messy in my opinion, but still a solid game nonetheless. I'm quite illiterate in Zelda games. Oh, there's the door. That is fine. I don't discriminate for you being illiterate. Majora's Mask is better than Tears of the Kingdom, but Tears is your least favorite 3D Zelda. Ah. Majora's Mask is in my top 5, personally. I know you have issues with the face melter, and I honestly respect and understand and kind of agree with everything you can criticize about it. But my least favorite 3D Zelda, my 7th favorite 3D Zelda is Skyward Sword. That's got to be in my top 7 3D Zelda games. You want to play like Link to the Past, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker? Again, Nintendo Switch. If you have NSO Plus, you can play Link to the Past, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker. Not Wind Waker, but Link to the Past, Majora's Mask. Only if you have the Nintendo Switch 2 system can you play Wind Waker.
Whole
I'm
thing
gonna
with me and Majora's Mask is the same as with Tot. Absolute hot take, but Majora's Mask is just Hoot 1.5 and Tot is just Bot 1.5. I played it and shortly after Majora's Mask, maybe I was just burned out or SMTH.
Maybe, but also that is valid. I will say, by my money, Twilight Princess actually kind of feels like Ocarina of Time 1.5 more than Majora's Mask does. I feel like it recreates a lot of what Ocarina of Time tries, pays homage to it. By homage, I mean pays plagiarism to it, and then, but also kind of without, you know, really getting it, you know? They do share a lot of code. They were developed, like, one after the other, which is funny how they turned out like this. Oop. I don't like Majora's Mask too much, yet you have yet even to beat it. That's also fair. Like, again, Majora's Mask does have the whole 3-day thing, which is both the best part about it and the worst part about it. Can I say the canon joke now? Go ahead. Ace Pick, what's up? I'm about to finish the Snow Peak Ruins. You do have a 3DS with many laws games. Because you can get, what? You can get, obviously, Ocarina of Majora, Link Tween, Triforce, and then also, oh! Here we are in the chapel. Oh, look at the chest. There's a chest behind the door in the room that was marked on your map. There's a chest.
The idea, you know that Link is always getting insta-killed when hit by a cannonball. Therefore, the stupid cannon is stronger than Ganondorf.
Indeed. Ganon is better at killing Link than Ganon is, because there's one timeline where Link does die. It is at the hands of Ganon, but like Ganon tries to kill Link once and it succeeds. Is this a church in my Zelda game? It is a chapel at the very least. What are the lore implications? I don't know. It probably was like in lore something to Hylia, right? There we go. The Helm Splitter absolutely obliterates them. I don't know what the nomination the Yetis belong to. They're in the Snowy Mountains. They're probably like Eastern Orthodox or something. The pews and the partition setup are kind of like that. I got the bedroom key. They keep their bed in the church because they leave room for Jesus. The three gods are something that created Hyrule. Usually it's a specific dedication. More recently we've seen there is specific dedication to Hylia as the goddess who dwells among them, you know?
The inclusion of Muslim symbol and prayer songs in the first version of Ocarina of Time, only the existence of Zelda Jesus.
Well, if you, there is actually, concept art, or like, I forget if it's concept art, or like art that exists in a manual or, guide, but like, there's the Nintendo-endorsed picture of Link kneeling in front of a crucifix. So, like, there is that. Okay, I'm gonna... You're so incredibly slow. Why are you not wearing shoes? It is cold up here, Snow Wife. Oh Lord, she coming. Here she comes. Ain't she sweet? See her walking
And I miss
down
the old
street.
area of Assassin's Creed lore when the whole story actually revolved around conspiracy theories and historical fantasy, including Jesus was a dude with an ancient artifact.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed gets weird, huh? Does the horse god have any worshippers? Probably. Scary, yeah. But like early Zelda 1 art, like the shield you get in Zelda 1 has a cross on it, and the original Japanese version of the magic book that powers up the magic rod is actually called the Bible in Japanese. So, like, early Zelda did like lean harder into actual European like history and European like lore. Was the most, it kind of was. Zelda universe would be Jesus. Probably Jesus. Hello? I mean, Zelda is more like parallelism. Like, she is the incarnation of a goddess taking human form, right? So, that's more parallel to, you know, the whole God so loved the world that he gave us his only son, right? So, that is one way to look at it. Oop, excuse me. Ma'am? Okay. Hello, ma'am. Your story is cringe, but it kind of was always cringe, just less cringe. I tried playing like the first hour or so, couple hours of the first Assassin's Creed, like years ago. Never clicked with me. Didn't click. Yep, time to whip it out. Oh. Come on. Now allow me to break the ice with my ball. I'm gonna peel off all your layers while I swing my ball around. Come here. Okay. Second phase song is peak. This is one of the more fun boss fights in the game, which this game has several great, like, set-piece boss fights. Alright. One last layer. Boom! How you doing? Okay. Rah! Alright.
I think her and Shrek would make a great pair, because they are both layered like an onion.
Okay, slam, slam, slam. Okay. There's one. More spikies. She lives in a snowed-up mansion on a hill. Yeah. Okay, she's got theoretically fewer. Dude, the organ. The organ, man. There we go. That's tooth wax. Okay, come on. Dun, 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 dun. There's the boss vulnerable music that they've used throughout the game. Bam! Boom! Bada bop. Let's go. I didn't even get to whip my sword out. It was all just with the ball. Hello, Widow J! Ice Lady, indeed. Yeah, I didn't even get to whip my sword out. That was just my ball. My goodness. And there's the Maror. He screamed for like a week in a row and never again. Who streamed? I mean, you got your own stuff going on, so 2 more left. We treated that girl. She can take it. She's a tough girl. Your Twilight has the power to change people like that, which is weird. Because initially, it was the fused shadows that corrupted people into monsters. So I don't know why the mirror is doing that now too. Kind of mixed messaging with the theming, but also this is like the 3rd time we've had the artifacts of power can corrupt. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. But this is also the last time this theme is ever touched on. Aww. See, he also held up a fish in his dating profile, but he's well over 6 feet, so that's why he gets the the women. And he's got a very small wife. She's a short woman. Okay. It's probably just sexual dimorphism.
I don't question anything about the size difference.
I mean, it's probably just the sexual dimorphism in Yetis. It's just the men get really big and the women do not. That is just how the differences work in that species. You know? Probably just it. The only other Yeti we see is what is the guy's name in Echoes of Wisdom? Conde. He's a pretty big fella. The tail is a bit.
Also, Beast's tail always has looked like a 3-week-old diaper.
Yes, that's always been how it is. It's a big, fat, like, beaver tail thing. Yeah, short people exist IRL too. Alright. So now that is finished, I can bring back Hello, 'Tis Me, in case you forgot that I have a face. Now, next thing, I think we might have time for the raft race, so I can get the bomb upgrade. I'm pretty sure I get a bomb upgrade from the raft race. Undog. Undog yourself. Come on. Link can get heart pieces from people sharing love. Why does he not just spy on couples? Sea Dog, that is incredibly problematic. I am not going to really. I'm not really gonna. Nope. Don't think about that. There is, I believe, in one of the games where Honey and Darling appear. If you talk to them, they leave you a heart. In fact, the girls who become your fangirls in this game leave a heart when they see you because of that. It must be like the power of love has the ability to heal. Okay, I never had that before. Short people don't exist. Tell that to Whammon on Tinder. Fish. What? No. Why am I disappearing? Help? What? You're disappearing? What do you mean disappearing? Something wrong? Something an issue? Oh, you're short. Never mind. That the implication there is that you are in fact a short king. Diet, everyone in America is short compared to us Europeans. That is, of course, the stereotype. That, of course. Me, I'm only 4 feet tall and 23 inches. I am. Poop.
I swear some Americans are bigger sideways than I'm tall.
That is also a fair assessment, although maybe not sideways, but circumferentially. The circumference might be. I don't think just pure width, but I could totally see circumference. And it's not a burn, like Americans will own up to it. The only at least most American like men will own up to it. Like, yep, I'm a fat guy. So what? You know? That qualify for sideways? I'll let that. Yep. I'll trust you with that. Sure. It's locked. Hello. Oh, hold on. Gimme. There we go. Also, thanks for the metal pipe marmalade. Okay. You know what? I might get footage of this. Because it's just a one-time thing. Hello, ma'am. Temporarily closed. Why are you temporarily closed? You're 6'3". Yeah, when I lay down on my back. Right.
This game really has everything. Hippies and people opening casinos in Cocorico. Crazy.
I know, right? Okay, I guess I don't unlock that yet. In which case, let's transform into Woof. And, I should have just told you to warp me. Hope you're not 6'3" when you lay down on your back, bro. No. I'm not quite there. I could stand to lose some things. Some poundage. I could stand more, frankly. But, I'm not that bad. This randomizer has a button combination to instantly transform. The Wii U gamepad here has just a tap to instantly transform. Are you 6'2"? No. You are within 4 inches. You're 5'11", basically a midget? Same, Hooli. Same. What are foreign nations' relations with Hyrule? We don't get much. We don't get much of that kind of world building. Wait, was that just to let me know that things are opening? Oh, it was Uku. You know how you are tall standing. I'm asking lying down. Oh, I'm not 6'2" lying down. I'm more like maybe a foot. I don't know. Like not ideal shape for sure. Too short for many women, too tall for most tall queens. Oh, there we go. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There's my heart piece. I have not measured myself laying down either. Oh. See, they produce hearts also. It's not quite as much as the married couple produce. But it's more than Ilya ever gave me. Ilya only steals my horse. Also, they have, like, hair colors that are green, blue, and red. So, like, Oracle adjacent without actually being the Oracles. I'm not harassing her. I'm giving her bugs. I found some dragonflies. Currently in the weight loss arc? Yeah. I could stand two. Dragonflies. Dragonfly. Dragonfly. Your little dragonfly. Ma'am, chill out. It is a dragonfly. Buff Broseph when? Mayhaps I might. I'm working on the 2.0 model. I may embellish certain details. Who knows? I knows. Are we doxing our height today? Yes, you're gonna be able to tell where I live because of how tall I am. Put on a bit too much at the end of seminary. Ah, yes, I was eating like. Was restricted during COVID. Ah, that makes sense. Link's fangirls in this game hate that he goes to the pug girl's house. Probably. Oh no, he's hot! I'm gonna need that to be a channel point redeem specifically for if I ever do a 2.0 like debut stream. Honestly, like there's a whole VTuber culture, right? About oh, here's your debut. Oh, here's your who's your Oshi, right? All that stuff. I've never done a debut. I just kind of hit go and started going. Let's go to recording. So like I haven't like officially stated my lore. I haven't officially like done a debut thing. But like when I get around to finishing the 2.0 model, I may do a proper debut stream. Oh yeah, ad break ends. My bad. You shouldn't be entranced by the Yoka, buddy. They're yuck. Indeed, Jeff. The ads are robbing me of Broseph lore. There's really not much to share. I'll get to it when you're done, Hooli. He's too busy cuddling with his wife. I do know what really happened. He loves his wife. Indeed. The sages once served in the royal family. Actually, they were appointed as tutors to the young Princess Zelda. Hold on! Lore. This is huge. This kind of confirms those sages are not the same sages as the ones that get awakened in Ocarina of Time. Hold on. This is big. You're out. Repeat all of your Oshi speak. No, but real quick first. I made a lore breakthrough. The sages in this game, the spirit sages in the Colosseum in the thing, they were served the royal family. Actually, they were appointed as tutors to the young Princess Zelda. These guys were not the guys awakened in Twilight, in Ocarina of Time, except for probably Impa. Impa may have been one of them. That version of Impa may have been one of... She was like her nanny, right? So, like, that Impa was probably in the original cohort. But the rest of them were, like, a different cohort of people who served the royal family and were distinct. Ooh, that's good. This is good. Her Tales of the Cursed Mirror. That's huge. That's really big. I'm glad I talked to you while I was recording. Sort quickly. Dude, okay. That's actually big. You were right all along. That's kind of was my hunch also. But no, in terms of what we were talking about with the whole like lore thing, right? All I was really gonna say is that it was really just the fact that I haven't really shared any lore about the Broseph character that I embody, right? And that I probably would if I did a debut stream for my 2.0 model. That's really all it was. It was just... I haven't really shared any. There is, like, penciled down somewhere. I have discussed it a little bit with people here and there. But until I, like, make a lore video for my 2.0 debut... Hello! It's been a while. Hi, buddy. Russell. Neo Dakota. I have a very vivid image of what that is. It's a planet that's just kind of flat fields. Maybe like a couple mountain ranges. There's like a Mount Rushmore like style monument somewhere in the Black Hills. You know. It's that's kind of what it is. Exactly. Yeah. And find the ancient power. Yes. That's kind of the image I had in my head, too. Because that is... Oh, hello. Chicken! Just live in some random shack. That's not quite the lore. I was probably like... Well, it's in progress, and I'll finalize it later. Right? It'll be like, I'll have the official little video or whatever. Maybe get some friends to voice act things in it. Get, like, Ami and Hal to play characters, you know? The cool-ass spaceship parked in front. Right. Alright, chicken time. Magic chickens. You want to voice act? Well, we'll see what happens. Ooh, voice acting? Perhaps. Mayhaps. Again, this could be upward of a year away, if at all. You know? It would be peak. Bro, you got a glitch? You got a second ad break? No, Sea-Dog! Like when you stream a friend's voice act? Yeah, it's fun to be like, oh, that guy! I know that guy! He's cool! I like that man! I like that woman! They're cool people! Rip, indeed. I'm only doing chicken stuff. It'll take longer than a year to get rid of you. I could do it today. I could just ban you. I would not. That would be horrendously rude of me. But like... Oh, hi. Twinkle, twinkle, little cuckoo. I am gold and not for you. Very, very full of himself, isn't he? But I would not. I would not just randomly to spite you. That is not... I don't have enough viewers for that, frankly. Oh. Cowboy. Oh, you want me to do some voice acting, do you, little lady? Alright, miss. Don't mind if I do. I can pull out some cowboy vibes. How's this do? What's this do for you, Miss Aikman? Now, when I think about it, you can totally get rid of me whenever you want. I could theoretically have that ability. It is not outside the purview of my abilities. Howdy. Yeehaw. I am kind of actually more leaning towards Southern gentleman here. So I could put a little more twang in it. We could go like this. There's a lot of different directions you could go. This is a little more hillbilly than in that family of drawl. There's a lot of directions you can take a draw. Now, if you do a face reveal, you should just show your eye, and whenever someone complains, omit it and say it's really zoomed in. I mean, again, Sea-Dog, my face is out there. If people want to find it, it really isn't that hard. I didn't clean up the paper trail. So, like, it's the thing. I feel like maybe I have a bit of male privilege in that way, because I know that it's a safety concern for some of my female counterparts. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not concerned, so... But I will, again with the whole 2.0 thing, a helmetless model, and perhaps even a helmetless redeem, would not be out of the question. It would not be. Sorry, I slipped out of cowboy. Sorry about that. There's also this direction I can go with it. There's a lot of variation you can do. Or you could do John Wayne. A little bit of an exaggeration, but it's about his cadence. Now listen here, little lady. Kind of a thing. What in tarnation? It's funny, people think cowboy voice, but there's actually a diversity to it. More diversity than you'd think. I grew up watching a good handful of them. My parents had a good number of them on VHS. One of my favorites was El Dorado. It had Dean Martin in it as like his friend, right? One of the deputies. There was like a young green kid who wanted to prove himself, and there was Dean Martin in there. He sang a song. There's like a kooky old guy who worked with them in the sheriff's office. Also, the original True Grit is actually pretty okay. The original True Grit's solid. It's, you know, John Wayne, but like, it holds up. I also do like the remake with the Coen brothers and Jeff Bridges. Like, that's a very good movie. Also, one of my mom's favorite to put on for little kids is a movie called Atari. It's not cowboy. It is John Wayne though. It's kind of later career John Wayne, but when it's about people who hunt and capture animals for zoos in Africa. So there's a lot of shots of just like them driving around on the plane chasing zebras and trying to like catch them. And there's like this whole, oh, there's a woman in the camp and she's gonna mess everything up because women mess everything up, you know. You know what El Dorado is? It is the legendary city of gold, although it wasn't like, they weren't searching for the city of gold in that movie. It was just kind of a reference. OG True Grit is solid. That said, you like to make more. And that's entirely valid. Like, again, Coen brothers are good filmmakers. And, Jeff Bridges kills it. Like, that's a woman. I know. It's very John Wayne in that way, where it's like, women are nothing but trouble. Yeah, they don't have nothing to do with them because they're just trouble. Only he gets whittled down by the end by her feminine charms. Oh, there's also another like one I grew up watching and enjoying. It's called North to Alaska. It is about, well, it's a adaptation of the song by, I believe, Johnny Horton. And, you know, way up north to Alaska, way up north to Alaska, north to Alaska, you go north, the rush is on. And it's just, you know, John Wayne and his friends trying to hit it big in the Alaskan Gold Rush. And guess what? A woman shows up, and he's all like, "Oh, women are nothing but trouble." And they have that whole thing. That's like the one character arc John Wayne goes on in like 90% of his movies. It's very funny. It's very funny. Where's Skull Kid at? It's kind of funny how reused the tropes were when you're like, oh, it's a John Wayne movie. So you know, there's going to be this and this. There's going to be a gunfight. Oh, we're likely to have this kind of a thing. Well, there's going to be a love interest, and she's going to fall for John Wayne, but it's going to take him a while because he's a tough nut to crack, you know? Okay, where? I am lost in the lost woods. This song is so beautiful. It's a shame it's ruined by the enemy music. You get a lot of it. It's not like it fades in and out. It works, but it's not like, you know, it takes away from the pretty mysterious music. Oh, here we go. I haven't gone this way yet. Quiet Man has some good moments, but forget just how odd the start of the relationship is. That's another one we had. That's another one I have watched, because it was just one of the VHSs my parents had. They had a couple, like, VHS box sets of John Wayne stuff. I think, like, later in his career, as he got older and the young, handsome, like, charming cowboy version of him stopped being written for, and they started leaning into kind of the more grizzled old ones. I think those are some of his better films. Because then you've got The Cowboys and The Shootist, and those are solid movies. And you have the True Grit and stuff, right? Who the hell is John Wayne? Lick my balls, blood. Who the hell is John Wayne? The Cowboys is probably your favorite. Honestly, really solid choice. And isn't that one where John Wayne like dies halfway through the movie and the kids have to figure out how to go on without him? Like, should Link ever get a revolver? You know, I'm not against it. I am not against a Zelda game where he has a gun, especially if we go a if we go in a post Spirit Tracks world, Widow J, or Sea Dog, my bad, you were there. If we go in a post Spirit Tracks world where there's a little more industrialization, right? And we've got trains, and we've got maybe like dirigible airships, like some steampunky stuff. I could totally see a gun or a launcher of some kind. Like I'd be kind of here for that. I would still punch people because it's me. But have you heard of Another Zelda podcast? Is it called Another Zelda podcast? I'm aware there are plenty of Zelda podcasts. Toon Link with Cartoon Gun would be funny, right? Kind of like Mario plus Rabbids. Okay. Now where is the glowy light? Okay, we got flickering lantern light. Where does the flickering lantern light go? It goes in here. I should just watch the visual cues. Something Breath of the... Yeah, there was Breath of the Wild concept art with, like, him having a gun, and there was, like, spaceships and a motorcycle and stuff. Exactly. They did an episode where they imagined the game set after Spirit Tracks in Steampunk's world. Ooh, fun! But, like, imagine a Steampunk Zelda world, and they bring back the spinner, and it's actually a bigger thing because you can, like, ride on the rail lines with the spinner. Oh, here we go. Like, the spinner makes more sense in, like, a a steampunky world. Oh, are you on a tree? Are you? You're on a tree. Jerk. Give me Beyblade again in my Zelda. Yeah, like, imagine if they brought back, like, claw shots, like steam-powered claw shots. Would be a really cool, like, puzzle item. Bring back the spinner as, like, a concept and, like, expand on it where he can, like, ride on the rail tracks and, like, use it to interact with machinery. And all this stuff. Like, we have already some items that are, I don't know, technology adjacent, right? The wind rod, right? The wind rod from Link Between Worlds, but it's like a propeller thing. Like, I would totally be down for that. It would be a lovely little change of pace. I mean, we've already had, like, high-tech, ancient technology, right? Game where you had a revolver with different types of bullets, and you realize who gets the next shot to shoot the bad guys. That sounds like, Enter the Gungeon or something, like a roguelike. That sounds like a weapon in a roguelike, where it's, like, high risk, high reward. But also different shot types. That's some Bioshock type stuff, right? The class cannon? I'll tell you what, I'll let you into a secret place. Oh, secret place, secret. I got a secret. But no, I do think people are a little tired of the technology angle of things. With like the robots and the guardians and the Zonai stuff, right? People yearn for pure fantasy. So I think we had a bit of that in Echoes of Wisdom. Echoes of Wisdom also had like clockwork robot things that Dampe made. We could have engineered Dampe back. I mean, I would say steampunk is a brand of sci-fi. It's analog sci-fi, right? Yeah, sort of roguelike, but the battle mechanics revolve around building different types of bullets, or like building different types of guns. Games that are good. I've heard like, SteamWorld. The SteamWorld games are good. Never played them, but like SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Heist. I've heard those are good. I already got you. Do you prefer sci-fi or fantasy? I'm a little more of a sci-fi guy, but like not so much so that it's like an exclusive thing, you know? A game where you basically have Wind Waker but in the sky, right? And that would be a way to use good sky islands. We might actually have good sky islands. And also, imagine a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom customization, a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, a little bit of Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks where you can customize your train or your boat, but have that for your like little airship you fly around in. You can have like your little Zeppelin airship that you can like do quests and get new parts to, and you can rearrange them, and you can have like different. You can do a little customization. One part the home decor from Tears of the Kingdom, one part the Zonai building from Tears of the Kingdom. There's a lot of you guys. Every time there's Sky Island in Zelda, you always end up get your hopes up and getting disappointed. Yeah. Okay. Dog time. So I jump down onto bigger ships. Like, maybe the other dungeons are like other flying fortresses. And yeah, you have the ground level where all the trains are, right? You got like the train level. But also there's the like several sky keeps, and you need to like go on quests to get dungeon items that are like your upgrades for your ship. That'll help you get into the ship, and then you'll get more dungeon items from there. Like, that'd be cool. Like, have it. Imagine Zelda reuses breath, but it kills Zelda Phantom. Here's the thing about that, Sea Dog. There is one way that I would approve of reusing the Breath of the Wild map. And the only way I would approve of them using the Breath of the Wild map is if they pulled a Pokemon Gold and Silver on us, where the entire rest of the game takes place outside of Hyrule. The entire game is like an adventure in, for example, the North Hyrule continent from Zelda 2, or in Hytopia, or like Holdrum and Labrynna, or some other like region outside of Hyrule. And then, like late in the game or in the post-game, you can travel back to Hyrule and be like, oh, hey, it's Hateno Village, and all the people at Hateno Village, look at them. Oh, Cass is back. Love that guy, right? You can go, oh, Hudson. Get an update on Hudson and his little family. Did Madison grow up and is an adult lady now looking to find her own vo, right? But is having trouble relating to her dad because she spent so much time isolated from, Hylian culture. Temple of Time, let's go! Indeed. We made it. Gonna get another stream of 2 dungeons in. That's the only way I would accept a reuse of the Breath Tears map, is if it's a bonus thing. If I had the money you found a game studio. You don't need no money, you just need an engine and a little bit of time and the ability to look up programming tips. Did Navi fly into the dungeon part of the Temple of Time and Ocarina of Time? That's interesting. Yeah, she does kind of head toward that direction. Kind of doubt. I don't see any sign of her here or any reference to her here. All right, the Temple of Time. Although I will say one thing. I'm always making songs, even if procrastinating bros. No, it's not a big deal. Trapped in the Dark Nut confirmed. It could be a Naboru thing, right? Where it's like Naboru, she turned into a Dark Nut. Are Dark Nuts really fairies? Really quick, I have need of the facilities and to refill my water. I will be back shortly. In the meantime, please enjoy hanging out with Briskly for 2 minutes maybe. And I'll be right back. Oh man, I knew I was not feeling. I was feeling a little under the weather. Over the last what, 2.5 hours, getting up, I got very cold and very a little more tired. Ooh, ugh. It'll be good. I turned the thermostat on because it's been warm around here recently, but then it stopped being warm, and now ugh, I'm feeling not so good. Ugh. Alrighty. Now, let's head back into the dungeon and continuate the dungeon. Okay. Looking at my mini map. Broseph. What if Navi did just wander back into the temple and had the whole backrooms experience? Maybe. This is kind of the temple backrooms. Although I think the most backroomsy dungeon in Zelda is probably the forest temple from Ocarina of Time. Oh, it smells like there was something here. Wow, there was something here. Symmetry existed. Wow. But this is kind of just the Zelda backrooms, isn't it? Oh. Put it on the light button. There we go. Forest Temple is so peak. Forest Temple is very good. For the longest time, I considered it the most, I don't know, one of the least interesting of Ocarina of Time's dungeons. Thinking back on it, I was like, yeah, the Twisted Corridor is a really cool set piece. For the 64? And the fact that you had to use the puzzle to, like, oh, if I twist the corridor and, turn the room right side up, I'll fall through the wall and go through the thing below. It was like, that's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff, man. A small key. Small key. Hi, Uku. The ancient technology of our people. Young man was so close. Wait, what if this part of the Temple of Time is like the spirit world something? Well, Sea Dog, if you've watched my time travel theory, the Zelda Encyclopedia calls this time travel, but I call that... I don't think so. I just kind of don't think so. For a couple of reasons. Because, like, if it is time travel, how did Zant time travel? How does he have the ability to time travel to send the mirror piece back in time? He just broke the mirror shard not that long ago, right? Like, it's semi-recently. Zelda Stone Tower going upside down was so cool. That one is also very cool. More just, like, weird spatial relations is very fun. What's outside the window? I don't know. Spirit Realm? Oh. I don't need those prompts. It's just kind of shiny out there. Is this the Light Realm as opposed to the Twilight Realm? You? Oh no. Oh nice. Cool. Coolio. Coolio. That's one thing I liked about the Divine Beasts in Twilight, in Breath of the Wild. Like, they're not a replacement for dungeons, but I do think that their puzzle boxy nature, where you like rotate things and twist things and move things and then platform around on them, that's really kind of a cool dungeon mechanic. Even if they're not like particularly good Zelda dungeons, they're at the very least interesting, you know? Which, there's some dungeons in Zelda that kind of are less interesting, just kind of linear slogs through a thing after a gauntlet, you know? Which, if you have a balance of them, right, where there's one that's like a linear gauntlet and one that's more puzzly, and they kind of like balance out over the course of the game. Could have gone outside the windows. Or maybe Navi is the great fairy in this game. Huh? Huh? Maybe Navi's the queen of the fairies in this game. Maybe she's the one that has her, isn't wearing a shirt under her hair. Maybe that's Navi we're talking about. I don't know. There's really no good answer for what happened to Navi, you know? But the biggest thing about her is the fairies of the forest, right, represent childhood, right? They represent the security of having someone to guide you through childhood. And so, losing that symbolizes Link's a man now, right? Link has grown to be an adult. I've not played Monument Valley, but I have seen some good optical illusion games. There's also that game Superliminal that looks kind of portally. Now, the reason the game is rated T and not E. That and like blood or like blood adjacent smears. Like, oh, this is purpley black instead of green. You get the routine rating. Okay, ESRB. Anything to say about the woman with cleavage all the way out? It's like, yeah, teen. But if Link had a gun, nah, it could be E. That could be E. But if the gun, you know, makes the enemies have a red splat when it hits them, that's blood, buddy. That's blood. You can't do blood. Can't do blood in your video games. What about the kids? Think of the kids. You know? Superliminal is a very specific audience. For them, it's really good. I was just kind of bored. You know what? Fair. It's kind of the same puzzle over and over, really. I could see that, where it's like, oh, what thing in this room do I need to twist to make it go up? Oh, and now it's big in perspective, and now it's small in perspective. But at the same time, like, still looks fun. Still looks kind of neat. Okay. Like, if you think about it that way, Portal's just kind of the same puzzle over and over. Kids seeing red, how day there, but Great Fairy, the game could be E. Well, in this case, it's still T, right? It is also after the most difficult challenge in the game, so it could also be that the journalists just never made it that far, because I feel like the quality in gaming journalists has gone down, but, like, probably not by a gigantic amount. Gaming journalists have kind of always been a target of ridiculousity. And, you know, of course, there's always going to be those people who are like, oh, it's a Nintendo game, so I am going to glaze it. I am contractually obligated to write the biggest puff piece ever, regardless of whether or not it's, you know, Metroid Other M. It's got to be a 7 out of 10, or I'm never going to get a preview copy of a Nintendo game again. Even if I do think there's too much water. Cassiopeia! Cheeseburger! Welcome to stream. How doeth thou? My face is not on stream, but, you know, I'm getting footage of dungeon for B-roll in videos at some point, because I do videos on my YouTube channel. I'm actually really pleased with the Rupee Theory video. I'm very pleased with that one. It came out quite nicely, even though it went through development hell. Portal had light bridges and laser beams and yeah. and actual story. Sure. I don't know. I can't judge Superliminal because honestly, I've purposefully not watched much of it because I saw the main puzzle mechanic and was like, oh, this is interesting. This is neat. That's a kind of cool puzzle mechanic. And then proceeded to not, buy it because I'm cheap. But it makes for good thumbnails. I've seen some good thumbnails made from it. Uh-oh. Door! Door! Oh, it's just you. Armos! Get stabbed and get blocked as you explode. Okay. Get poked. Get rolled around and sliced in the back jewel. Get hit in the jewels. Hitting you right in the jewels. I love how Random Pocket Dimension of a Ruined Church has puzzles so people don't get bored in it. Is that what happens in Superliminal, or are you talking about this? And this isn't to make sure people don't get bored in it. It's to protect the Uku's family treasure. But also, Zant sent a monster in here through time? Or through dimensions. I want to believe through dimensions. I'm headcanoning this as, even though the Hyrule encyclopedia says it's you see it from a different time, I think it's extra dimensional and held in time rather than actual time travel, because there's no Master Sword here, and there's never been a time in this timeline where the Temple of Time has been here. A lot of time in that sentence. Isn't it a test to choose who's worthy of the rod thingy? Yes. Yes. After the entire last dungeon was about swinging a ball around, this one is about swinging a rod around. This game is getting very creative with the imagery it's evoking with its items. Maybe that's why it's rated T for teen. It's like, we can't have Link swinging his rod around in a Zelda game that's rated E for everyone, and then Nintendo's like, what about Link to the Past and Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? Those have rods. In fact, in Tears of the Kingdom, Link can stick things on his rod. He can put stuff on it. It's like put something on the tip. Put a shield on it to protect his rod. You put a fire thing on it so his rod heats up and shoots fireballs. He can make his rod spray water. Link can make it so in Breath of the Wild, he can swing a rod and spray water. These are things that you can do in a Zelda game that's rated E. 10+, I think. I don't recall directly their rating off the top of my head. I know I'm old enough. And I know they weren't happy. So would you say this is a pocket dimension or part of a bigger dimension? I would say this is my stance on this is that we are in the Temple of Light in the Sacred Realm. Sea Dog. You know how the Chamber of the Sages in Ocarina of Time was in the Temple of Light in the Sacred Realm where Rauru was? This is that cut dungeon, essentially. Sacred Realm is a pocket dimension? That's a great question. Link to the Past makes it seem that way. All the other games are pretty loose about it, and frankly, some games describe Hyrule itself as a sacred realm, a realm blessed by the gods, you know? So, there is some interpretation where you could say, oh, Hyrule itself is the sacred realm. There are some people who theorize the depths from Tears of the Kingdom were once the sacred realm, and they were corrupted into, a dark world, you know? So it's really, really unclear. So unclear, Nintendo can do whatever they want with it, and it's kind of just accepted. like, interdimensionality is definitely a thing in the Zelda series. We have, Lorule, after all, and the Twilight Realm, right? Which the Twilight Realm seems more like a pocket dimension, kind of like the Silent Realm from Skyward Sword. In fact, maybe I'll do this as a theory someday, but like, it could be that the Silent Realm from Ocarina, or from Skyward Sword, is the Twilight Realm. It has this if you look hard enough. I mean, there's a good number of churches that I believe have portals to the infinite. Kind of. Asterisk. But, let's not, this isn't a Catholic theology stream. It's special, it's the place where they need to store the Triforce. Yes, and now, the Triforce is not here in this timeline, in this part of the timeline. And, frankly, the Force is also kind of accurate. It's just the Force of the Gods, the purest form of the Force of the Gods, right? You've also got Force Gems in, some other games, like Four Sword Adventures. You've got the Four Sword that is powered by a Force. Like, essentially, it's a thing I go into in the Rupee Theory video, right? Where they kind of just have an Eastern philosophy-style Star Wars life force. Because, oh, guess what? This game was made in Japan. And maybe has been influenced somewhat, a little bit, maybe, by Eastern philosophy. Because, you know, Japan. Now. Okay. It's like Zelda's Light Force. Actually, given the Tears of the Kingdom thing, where you've got, you know, the Zonai and the Secret Stones and all that, and Zelda inherited the power of light, like, and also there's powers of time. Like, maybe the Secret Stones are like Force Gems, you know? It makes sense, this is why this dungeon has money lying around, exactly. So, yeah, and the lore in them is a little ad hoc. Like, apparently, the, in development, Four Sword Adventures was supposed to be the war from the beginning of Link to the Past. It was supposed to be that sealing war, the imprisoning war. But then they changed things, and now it's at the end of the Twilight Princess timeline for whatever reason. Which, like, sure, Nintendo, whatever. I've seen some very interesting alternate timeline theories about, like, oh, what if the true Downfall timeline split happened in Four Sword, or in Minish Cap, and basically the Four Sword Adventures is the events of Ocarina of Time in the Downfall timeline. A new Ganon wakes up and finds a new source of power, and instead of the Master Sword, it's the Four Sword. Like, and then from there you get some of the Downfall timeline games. Like, I've seen that, and it's a very interesting portrayal of the timeline. I'm not gonna, like, adhere to it for any of my videos, because I like going from Word of God statements, you know? I think Minish Cap, for me, is my 6th favorite 2D Zelda, but I can definitely see the appeal. It is still quite a good game. Isn't there time travel in Minish Cap, though? No. There is not. There is not. But it is, like, the only Zelda game where you can get a bad ending. There's a bad ending where you don't make it to the top of the tower in time, and Vati, like, kills Zelda. And that's no bueno. And so, like, it would be going from that bad ending, which may have been started up, as many people like to hand wave, saying, oh, Skyward Sword had time travel ever at all in any capacity. So therefore, Skyward Sword must be the splitting point, and then there's two parallel Minish caps, one where Link fails and one where he succeeds. Game 10 times over, bad ending isn't canon. Yes, exactly, Jay. I'm aware. It's just this alternate timeline theory says, what if it was canon? That's the question it dares to ask. There we go. Just to have more games with the shout. Kinda, yeah. Also because it has a dark mirror. There is a dark mirror in that game. There's also a mirror of a shadow mirror in Link to the Past, but don't mind that. But no, with the Sage reveal we had earlier when I talked to the guy, like, that kind of solidifies for me that Downfall timeline is the only time, Child timeline is the only timeline that can't have Breath and Tears come after it by itself. Which is a very sad thing for people who want it to take place in the Child timeline, solely because they think Midna is great and want her to come back. Which not shaming that. She is kind of great. Can't claim something based on if a proven fact is false. Yes, I agree. That's why I don't take alternate timeline theories into account when I'm making videos. They're very cool to consider. Like, what if this was the case? What if this ending was canon? We know because Nintendo told us that it's not, and so I go with what Nintendo told us 9 times out of 10, except for this castle being a time travel thing. That just does not make sense on any level. Okay, time to swing my rod and get the ball inside the guy. Whole what if called the Downfall timeline. Yep. I think it's weird that it's a what if scenario. Wait, did they say about the sages in this game? Oh, in Telma's bar, I talked to Aru, the guy Aru, and he was talking about how he was investigating the Desert Colossus, and how he was like, oh, there were ancient sages in there, and they used to be tutors to the young Princess Zelda. It's explicitly stated in this game that the sages we see talk about Ganon killing one of them and stuff were once tutors to a young Princess Zelda. So I'm thinking young Zelda Ocarina of Time. One of them is probably Impa, frankly. One of them probably is Ocarina Impa. But the rest of them, like, Darunia wasn't a tutor to Zelda as a young child, right? They were other sages that lived in the Ocarina Castle and acted as, servants of the king. And so, it must be that when, in main timeline Ocarina, when Ganon took over the castle, he killed everyone except Impa. And that's why Link needed to would need to awaken new sages, because the ones that were there died. And bada boop, get you there. Which means Ruto and Naboru never became sages in the Twilight Princess timeline. Never did. And those are sages that get specific shoutouts in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as having places named after them. Like, it is explicitly stated, Naboris, the Divine Beast, was named after Naboru, who helped a hero defeat Ganon. Now, initially, I had thought, oh, it could be that the Tears, that the sages from Tears are just named, reused names. You have Rudania and Naboru, and, you have Meadow and stuff. That's those guys' name. But, like, looking at the release material for the game, no, that isn't their name. They are not, in fact, the sages the divine beasts are named after. Meaning, there must be some other sages that the divine beasts are named after. And the only ones we know of in canon timeline. Wouldn't he be talking about the only current Zelda at the moment? It wouldn't be strange to talk about a previous Zelda. Well, here's the thing about that. Current Zelda, what is current Zelda? Was current Zelda alive like 100 years ago when Ganon was banished to the Twilight Realm? I think not. I would be inclined to think that current year Zelda wasn't alive like 100 years ago during the Imprisoning War, where probably the other Link died, right? The hero Shade died in that conflict, probably, if I had to guess. So yeah, no. By my calculations, it all points to the sages that sealed Ganon were different sages from the ones that we awaken in Ocarina of Time. Okay, I see where that goes. Played this game once and it wasn't really paying attention. That's, you know, understandable. It's cutscenes, and they're kind of long cutscenes. I can comprehend that. Go. So yeah, that's a headcanon I had been considering, like of like that was the case in this one. It's possible they awoke, but like. No? I remember it being framed at Medicine Ganondorf was banished immediately and sent into action with his power. I could see that. But really, there aren't signs of remembering the brutal attacks Ganon just waged on the Hyrule. Hyrule is an era of peace. I think they specifically call that out in the opening cutscene. There's like an era of peace. That like, oh, we haven't been invaded by bad guys. And then, oh look, they get invaded by bad guys. Like, Ganon being sent there is relatively recent when compared to the greater history of the Twilight, that's for sure. And he may have simmered there for 100 years, recollecting his power, trying to figure out what to do. And then Zant showed up and was like, oh, you must be the god that will send... Hey, look, he's got a rupee in his back. He's got a rupee-shaped gem in his back. A little rupee-shaped gemblem. Look at that. Now. Here's a good puzzle. I kind of like this puzzle. Stone. And then call that guy over here. And then this is a good puzzle. Makes you think a little outside the regular box. Like, oh, there's one missing. Now, we could learn from, like, Ganon's like, monologue. If we look at Ganon's monologue, we could estimate how long he had been stuck in the Twilight Zone. Okay, is my boy still on the scales? No. No, he isn't. Oh, you're there. Now, hold on. Let me just... Huli! Did you play Twilight Princess close to release? Relatively, Huli. My older brother got it, and I want to say, like, 2007? Because he was the one that had cash to spend on a relatively new game. I want to say 2007-ish was when he got it. So yeah, closer to release. Is the downfall timeline just because the map aligns better? It does. Or it could be the Deku Tree theory, where it's like, oh, we abandoned the old timeline, right? And that's the one with Rito in it. Although I will say this one has like Rito in this retcon, which is weird. In like a mural. I think there is a fairly even case for downfall or adult. Although I do think, like, for Rito, you have an explanation in Echoes of Wisdom where there are, in fact, two divergent species of Zora. That one could evolve into the Rito and be Birdie, and the other ones, who were the Ocean Zoras, could have more shark-like features. You know? Spoilers. I wonder if the folks were genuinely shocked the one villain, Ganon being the villain supplanted. I don't know. Here's the thing about that, Huli. I did play it close to release, but I wasn't in circles discussing Zelda close to release. The only people I knew who played Zelda were my siblings and adults who had only played the 64 games and, like, Link to the Past. So I was not privy to, like, Zelda culture at the time. You know? Whoops, ads? Oh, okay. I'll reiterate that when you get back. Sorry about that. I should be paying attention to that more. I'll also respond to Jay because that's interesting. Or Jay, they could make the game that just canonizes the convergence theory. They could make a game that's just, oh, yeah, Link is traveling between the three timelines and reuniting them to create a world where, you know, this dark force, Ganon adjacent thing, is defeated in all three. You know? That could be a thing they do. And then they take elements from all three timelines. Like, one has a lot more water in it, and one has, you know, has less saturation in its colors. Boom. Boom. Grab this heart piece, I believe. No, I haven't actually been talking the entire time between ads. I realized, oh, I'm in the middle of ads, and Huli asked a question that I was responding to when it cut. So I haven't been talking the entire time. But if you can hear me now, because ads are about to break in about 30 seconds, I'll let the ad break in about, like, you know, 25 seconds. All I'm doing is walking my guy to Taco Bell. You can hear me now? Okay. Well, about the parallel timeline thing, like, you don't have to create the splits and stuff. You could just set it in the furthest future of every timeline and explain why convergence theory actually happened. Give us canonical evidence for convergence theory instead of making it just the convenient cop-out. That's why you reacted, because you were just talking. Okay, my bad. I waited a bit to see if you were still talking, and then I stopped talking, but I was like waiting. Anyway. But yeah, I think going between timelines to like solve the differences and then like have them kind of collapse at the end of the game and create the Hyrule of Breath and Tears would be, you know, it would give us confirmation about that. I think the convergence theory is still currently, as it stands, convergence theory is just convenient hand-waving for people who don't want to think too hard about it. And I do respect not wanting to think too hard about it. I sometimes don't want to think too hard about it either. But also, Hooli was like, oh yes, about the initial like reaction. Again, I wasn't here. Well, wasn't here, but like, I was not on the internet and did not have friends who were into Zelda at the same time. I actually, fun fact about me, I'm a homeschooled kid. I'm a homeschooler kid. So I didn't have friends at school to talk about Zelda with. It was always my siblings and I who were playing them together. So I also was not on the internet forums at that age because my parents were careful and prudent about that, and I'm kind of glad they are. I'm a mess as I am. I'd be more of a mess if they weren't, because they were. Solved puzzles, done certain things in the past. Oh yeah, like honestly, Zelda Parallel Worlds puzzle solving is always a good recipe. Like having multiple parallel versions of a room to hop between. You get that in Link Between Worlds, Link to the Past. A tiny, teeny, little itty bitty bit in this game, but like not enough to be interesting. I'm sorry. And you get that in Ocarina of Time with like the past and the future. I do too. I think I understand and respect being non-committal, but I think we probably will get an answer in due time. Give it enough time for the dust to settle and for them to like have a brand new game. To like, you know, they like letting us theorize, but then we might get more. I feel like we will eventually get information on it. We may eventually get information on it. Because they're not, like, against the timeline completely. At least, you know, some people aren't. We have a specific Nintendo-approved timeline placement for Echoes of Wisdom, which is great. Because also, I was looking at the map and looking at the events, and I'm like, is this like Downfall timeline pre-Zelda 1 and 2 or post-Zelda 1 and 2? Was it pre-Zelda 1 and 2 or post? I'm not sure. Just immediately pre-Zelda 1 and 2. It's like, oh, okay, there we go. Worlds can lead to so many new possibilities. We need to make a Ponzi scheme to unlock a new thing. Like, that could be interesting too. It could be interesting to be like, I'm gonna split the timeline here. I do feel like that would lead to, like, extremely limited puzzle solutions. And honestly, if they were to do that kind of time travel puzzle solving, they would probably do it Oracle style. I feel like if they were to do more time travel puzzling, it would be more Oracle style to like create this different version of the current reality. So you're not going between, you're just going forward and backward and changing things, right? You can accept the reality and understand the next game in the series is a sequel to Link's crossbow training. Now, with the Nintendo Switch 2's new mouse mode. And it's going to be the third, it's going to reuse, it is going to reuse the map from Breath and Tears. Happy 40th anniversary, Zelda. you get Link's Crossbow Training 2. Let's get a good stretch. Thank you, Aurum. Probably a good idea. I am a little on the sick and weary side. But this is good. Very necessary. Must have caught something when I was at home over the weekend because I recall having my brother say my nieces had recently shrugged something off and that other people were being affected by things. I should probably quarantine myself to keep myself out of my roommate's hair. Well, now Link's Battle Royale training. There's your timeline game. There's your wacky timeline crossover game. Night Rainbow, where Zelda just mash a bunch of previous assets together. Like, in spirit, not in mechanics, but in spirit, that's kind of what Hyrule Warriors is. The original. The original is just kind of like, let's mash up a bunch of stuff and just call her good. And add lore that contradicts previous established lore, so it's really shouldn't be considered anything remotely close to canon. But, especially since, at what point in the timeline are the sages taken from their thing? When is Imp Midna taken out of her timeline and then placed back with no, like, you know? Kind of sloppy. Oh, it's an Indiana Jones room. Pet noises after hearing the Hyrule Warriors was not canon. I mean, there's still plenty of Zelda fans who really want Hyrule Warriors to be canon, so that the convergence can be canon. So, like, it's not just MatPat. I feel like maybe MatPat talking about it made more people convinced it wasn't because, you know, they wanted to just spite MatPat because, you know, popular guy made thing talking about thing that I like. We must be contrarian to him because we don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. Zelda episode 4 or 6, Return of the Linkle. I'd be down for a game that brings Linkle as a character concept back. Like Hyrule Warriors. No. If we get a Triforce Heroes on Switch 2. If we get a version of Hyrule Warriors. No, Triforce Heroes. Like, having the option to make one of the Links, at least, a female Link, lends to the idea that you're not all technically the same Link, you're all different heroes. You know? Linkle's crossbow training. I mean, she did use double crossbows in Hyrule Warriors as one of her weapons. And also chickens. But no, I would totally accept Linkle as a option, as a customizable option for like, hey, do you want to play as Link or Linkle when you're playing with your friends in Triforce Heroes? Give the little sisters something to play, you know? Do you really dislike with a very big passion Hyrule Warriors games? That's reasonable. Like, the gameplay isn't for everybody, and the lore in Age of Calamity was sloppy. So no, I understand and respect and kind of agree on some level. I would like to play Age of Imprisonment just to see what it does with the Zonai, though. The first one was very funny. Five Nights at Tingles. I actually have on the Wii U, randomly, my brothers were in town, so we were like, you know, going to used game stores and stuff. And I picked up a copy of Star Fox Guard for the Wii U. Now, Star Fox Guard was a side minigame thing that released alongside Star Fox Zero, the Star Fox game that rebooted, Star Fox 64 and 1 again, but, like, bad because motion controls, and the gimmick because Miyamoto is insatiable. A Tingle horror game would actually go hard. Okay. Get squished. This boss gave you nightmares? Oh, it's arachnophobic nightmares, that's for sure. This guy is arachnophobia incarnate. But no, like, Tingle had a haggling simulator, like a capitalism simulator. He had a dating sim. Like, I could see Tingle going full horror. Like, in a very cartoonishly silly way, but like also like, no, legitimately, they'd use the horror tropes. It's just the monsters are weird and cartoonish. And like, genuinely the gameplay is freaky. Like Resident Tingle, I'd play Resident Tingle. I would play the absolute ever-loving crap out of Resident Tingle. That would be so funny. Imagine if Capcom collaborated with Nintendo for more Zelda games, but they made Resident Tingle. Rosie Rupee Land was special. That's for sure. It was genuinely something else. It had a lot of, some of them were like very, very Nintendo DS in the way that I do not like in the least, but it was bold. Like legitimately, I think a remake or remaster or re-release of some kind of Tingle's Rosie Rupee Land would go kind of hard. Like the Sad Clown. Oh yes, Chuckles. Chuckles was the best character. Chuckles has so much lore significance. Haggling could have been done better. I agree, which is why I think a re-release or a remake would probably be the best thing for it, just to like sharpen that up and make it less obnoxious. But legit, kind of solid spin-offs. Oh, you just died to a bomb arrow. Let's go. Mirror shard that I refuse to believe was sent to the past because that's not a thing Ganon's magic can do. Do you have any thoughts on a potential Ocarina of Time remake? Aram, I would love to see the modern Ocarina of Time. I would love for Nintendo to make the modern era Ocarina of Time. I want that game to be the next 3D Zelda. I think that Ocarina of Time is actually holds up surprisingly well. There are things you can tweak to it, right? Take the 3D version, right? Add rights. Honestly, the only clunky control in the entire game is the fact that you can't do modern controls right stick camera. You play Ocarina of Time 3D on emulator with a right stick camera control hack, or play Ship of Harkinian with right stick camera control enabled, and suddenly it just feels like a GameCube or Wii or Wii U Zelda, you know? Give it bonus dungeons, they need to be canon. Just give me bonus dungeons to Ocarina of Time. There's Master Mode. Master Mode is kind of bonus dungeons. But if they're gonna do full remade, like full complete new bonus dungeons with new items and mechanics, I kind of just want that to be a new game. I kind of just want that to be a new game. I think an Ocarina of Time 3D port for Nintendo Switch 2, a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Ocarina of Time 3D, is really what all that game needs. Ads again. My goodness. Oh, you missed that. Right. My opinion on that is I was too young to... I didn't have friends who talked about it. Because my friends didn't play Zelda. I didn't have access to internet forums where people were discussing it. So I really don't know the attitude at the time. I really don't know the attitude at the time. Color Dungeon and Link's Awakening. You'd love more of those. Yeah. But also, that was made very close to release, right? Versus Ocarina of Time 3D already had bonus remixed dungeons in Master Quest, right? So having... And that kind of similarly came out on the next console with updated stuff. So, I would be down for a re-release of Ocarina of Time 3D. I'm not jonesing for a full remake of Ocarina of Time. Unless they were to make a parallel Sheik game that told us about how the Downfall timeline happened. I would be down for like a remixed Sheik version of the game that took place during the time skip. That'd be sick. Being upset knowing that's the twist, but also consider that every Zelda game I'd expect Ganondorf for Ganon. Like, for me, it didn't really matter. I'd already played Wind Waker, and I'd already played Link to the Past. So I knew Ganon was, like, the Zelda guy, right? A Sheik game would go hard, and I think there was a time when Retro Studios was trying to get that made on the Wii, but that was ill-fated. Just gameplay never came together on that one. Yeah, I think a dark reality Sheik game that like goes into the Downfall timeline would be very cool. Spend more time with that version of Zelda and stuff. How would you rank the Ganondorfs? Now, by individual game, or by the fact that this Ganon is technically the same Ganon as Ocarina and Wind Waker. Like, this Ganon is technically the same Ganon as Ocarina and Wind Waker. He's more like Ocarina Ganon than Wind Waker Ganon, frankly, because Wind Waker has like a divergent timeline where he has time in prison to reflect, whereas this one just gets more angry. A Sheik in the style of Zelda 2 would be cool. Ooh, like a 2D Sheik game. Like, maybe even go... They could even go full Metroidvania if they wanted to be, like, you know, adventure-y about it. That could be cool. Trying their hand at, like, side-scrolling Zelda. 1 Ganondorf, 2 FSA G-Dwarf, 3 Totka G-Dwarf. I think that does about cover it. In which case, I've got to say Ocarina Dwarf is the best one, just because we get to see him the most, and we get, like, the most time to peek into his mindset and, like, see what his deal is in 2 different timelines, even though I think his use in this game is kind of just like rug pull. Second is definitely Tears. I need to play Age of Imprisonment to, like, form a more cohesive opinion of him, but, like, Tearsdorf, Ganon Daddy, whatever you want to call him, he's cool. Hey, Ebola. Love you too. And then 4 Sword Adventures Ganon has so little time to do anything, you know? He has even less time than Tearsdorf to, like, do anything meaningful. He just shows up and is like, Vati, I'm powerful now, and I'm gonna steal the Force Gems or something. Tearsdorf was pretty cool for you. Tearsdorf is very cool. He's designed very well. His story is like, it's a little thin, but like so's Ocarina Dwarf, so like, it's whatever. I'm not expecting pinnacle of storytelling. The health bar moment was hype. That Ganon does have aura. That is a aura farm in Ganon. Nope, not that one. This one. I'm gonna talk to Malo Mart. Oh, hi, buddy. Long have I predicted that you would come, my brother. Tell me, did you see my young one in trouble in Castletown? Your name is sacrilegious, so everything about it would be bottom tier ranked for me, IMO. I wouldn't go that far, Widow J, but I do understand the attitude. I do understand it. I think, in a lot of ways, it is a better game than not Ocarina, but Breath of the Wild. I do think, in a lot of ways, it is a better game than Breath of the Wild. It just takes steps in the wrong direction or doesn't go far enough in a direction to fix the issues it has. his English VA was better than all the other VAs for Ganon, for Tearsdorf. Okay, I'll believe that. I haven't really heard his other language VAs. I know people are mid to split on Zelda's VA. It gets funky with the timeline and with the lore. 1,000, you say? I will. Boom. Oh, I should probably also talk to Midna. Matt Mercer's a name I've heard. Is he one of the guys that's involved at all with Critical Role? Is he one of the Critical Role adjacent people? That sounds like something. D&D man. Gotcha. So I am correct. And most of the other English VAs. Oh, gotcha. Like, the other people aren't bad. They're just like, it's fine. He's the DM for Critical Role. Gotcha. Okay. I figured his name was adjacent to that. That sounds... Why am I just doing Bug Lady? Hold on. Yeah. Ganon Dwarf is Levi from Attack on Titan. Oh, that's also Levi, the Short King. So he goes from being Tall Daddy to Short King. That's fun. Okay. Levi Ackerman's a cool character. Renado. Do not care for Zelda's English VA in Breath of Tears. That's understandable. She does, like, an okay job. It's okay. It's a Zelda voice. It's, like, fine. I'm not like... I don't hate it, but I'm like, it does the job. She talks in the cutscenes. Her direction wasn't, like, terrible. I don't know. I'm very neutral on that. I know people have strong opinions on it, but I do not. Levi was awesome in AOT. I think Attack on Titan is a solid show. I didn't like... I understand the point it was getting at about, like, oh, war is inevitable and the human beings are fallen, but, like, it was very doomer about its conclusion it came to, about the way the world works. You know? About how, oh, war never changes. In order to bring peace, I must be the super Hitler, and then the super Hitler will make everybody unite against the super Hitler, and then then we can be kind of in peace for a couple of years before bad things happen again. Like, it's a good, well-told story, and it's like weird, crazy twists and stuff. But I'm not like over the moon about it. I'm also not an anime guy, so take that with a grain of salt. I think he's sacrilegious because it shows Nintendo's mindset about their games, and I express sadness and anger against that game. Gotcha. Yes, it has that mindset of, like, we are going to disregard the lore for the sake of fun. Now, I do really applaud Nintendo's classic gameplay first, story second approach. It means that even if the story is nothing to write home about, the game very often at least has interesting ideas, right? Like, the story, yeah, that'll be tacked on or whatever. But also, gameplay at the expense of story is not a good thing either, where it's like, we're going to pay no regard to what came before narratively, aside from the most basic nods and allusions to make you, soy jacket the screen, like we do when we're making the Mario movie, right? Breath of the Wild's approach to lore was kind of Mario movie approach, you know? It's like, did get Eldia to a piece at least first. Yeah. It's been like a year since I watched it, and I watched the final season kind of disconnected from the rest of it, and in chunks. So I'm not like actively up to date on what I think about it. Good show though. Surprised Zelda. Shocked Zelda face. There's a meme there's a meme template for you. Let's see. There's also but yeah, there's vagueness that makes it interesting, and then there's vagueness that feels lazy. And I think Breath leaned, and especially Tears, went a little further into the vague posting to feel like they don't want to think about the timeline. And they not even that. They went, this worked, let's put minimal effort to call it unique. Yup. For $70. Yep. No, I also feel that. I understand that also. Was it really a $70 game? It was a 7-year wait dev time game, but like, was it a $70 game? I don't know, it was gonna sell gangbusters anyway. It could be a loss leader for the Switch 2, right? You were gonna up it by $10 when you had the Switch 2 edition anyway. But no, I see all your points, and I largely agree with all the criticism. Like, I'm not blind to them. Nintendo is not a company that can do no wrong. It has done wrong. A lot. But the game itself had fun gameplay ideas. But it did feel a little shackled by trying to be Breath of the Wild 2 instead of being itself. Frankly, in the way that I feel Twilight Princess is shackled by trying to be a retread of what Ocarina did well instead of being its own thing. It does a lot of its own things, the way that, you know, Tears of the Kingdom does. I just think it does them. It's for a couple copy-paste islands on, yep, and the same map but dark. Yep, it does feel like, what did you spend all this time on? Now, they probably spent all that time on the new physics engine and tweaking that and getting it to be glitchless and smooth. They said the rumbling killed 80% of humanity. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. So Tears Memories in order, so that helped me like it. I think, again, biggest band-aid you could put on that game, if you ask me, the biggest thing you could do to make it less of a problem is if you added some structured linearity to it. Like, it was committed to being open air like Breath of the Wild, and I think it worked really well for Breath of the Wild. I love that approach for Breath of the Wild. But the story Tears wanted to tell had too many mysteries and secrets, and like, ooh, what's this? But like, if you went the wrong direction a little too early, you knew exactly what that was. So everybody freaking out about, oh, the princess is evil! It's like, no, that's just a Ganon clone that stabbed her grandma. We're amazed at how the Ultra Hand stuff worked. Oh yeah, the Ultra Hand stuff, creative, fun, seamless, like lots of fluidity. Hoverbike and nothing else. It is lost a little when you break it with the hoverbike, but also it does have the potential for more than the hoverbike, or other than the hoverbike. I do agree, having the hoverbike be that like unlimited, having that particular build, which there was always going to be a build that absolutely broke the game, no matter what, you know? So no, I sympathize and agree, but it doesn't bother me quite as much as Skyward Sword. It's so expensive to make anything else. You can't. Yeah. No, I agree. Ground felt incredibly same. I felt the underground was big potential, big miss. Stage powers are less interesting than Breath. Yup. Like, outside of the wind one. Like, the air one was great. But then, like, the water one, kind of sucked. Like, I don't think I ever used the water one for, like, anything. Except for, like, you know, the dungeon. Like, the thunder was, like, neat if you wanted to dispatch a bunch of enemies, but, like, yeah. Stage powers are less interesting. Control V, Control V. Yeah. I wish there was more variance. I wish they were a better parallel for the world above. I wish there were more biomes, like biodiversity, in the way the surface has biodiversity. You know? I think had they cut the skies and only done the depths, it would have been much better. Had they cut the depths and only done the skies, it would have been really great. Or a lot better at the very least. But doing both, jack of all trades, master of none, you know. Cheers, you're gonna find a glitch and get infinite zonite so you can make whatever you want. That's one thing people do. Just infinite zonite, or just farm a bunch. Okay. I'm about to embark on probably one of my least favorite bits of padding in this game, in a game that structurally annoys me because it has dumb padding. I wanted to go to the fishing hole. I went down the wrong one. If you ever play Tears again, gotcha. Honestly, I could really use to sort out, to replay Tears to like get a better handle on it, on how I feel about it. Because I've only ever played that one all the way through once, and Breath all the way through once, if I'm being honest. Put out patch after patch to get rid of all the nigh all duping glitches. Yeah, now the only ones left are the most complicated ones to set up. There are still duping glitches because, my goodness, but and I'm glad I actually took advantage of the duping glitch, one of them, because I was not gonna farm the dragons. No, thank you. I am not farming the dragons. That's garbage. But I wanted to get all the stuff and all the upgrades from the dragon stuff. But I was, no, buddy, nah, dude. You just the first one locked in. I did the one that required a triple or like 5 bow in that place near the oh, what's her name? Raru's sister. The cave. Buddy, what is up with you? Why are you like that? Come out here and fight me like a ghost child demon thing. Alright, now stay still while I rip your soul out. Alright. Let's go to the Henna's fishing hole to see the second most underrated girl in this game. Because your first playthrough of the game was rough for you. Fair. Ugh, I am reducing in my energy. My goodness. But no, I got stuck at Calamity Ganon Breath of the Wild. Oh, really? Bro, that's an easy fight. There we go. Unfurryify here. Da, 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 da. Let me just recording and bop and hit this. They just used to be one before we got the one popular one where basically jumped out and took all your shield and boom, finished. Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Not that good at video games, not gonna lie. Ah, it's fair, it's fair. What? Fish! Ocarina of Time fish guy confirming you're his offspring. Hi. Have you been here before? No. You're a fishing hole. Hi, Hannah. Nice to meet you, too. Oh, my goodness. The girl knows how to handle a big fish. Your first cut, 28 inches. Nice. That's my older brother, Koro, 25-inch catfish he caught. Family who's lousy at fishing. And there's your big sister. Shot from the day she caught herself a 17-inch Hyrule bass. It is a boat rental shop sometime. Hello, is that your dating profile pic? Hold on. Why did they put Broseph in the game? I'll allow that. Are you referring to what? Her bro? With the fro? The bro with the fro? It's one of Hyrule's legendary master fishermen. He's got a Hylian loach, doesn't he? Maybe he may just be one of your ancestors. Oh! Of course, can't really prove that. It's kind of wishful thinking on my part. Dearie me. I sometimes just get itchy. No time limit, 20 rupees. Not now. But also she has that itching compulsion the way the Ocarina of Time guy does. And you have a bird too. That's the special fish tank for your customers. Only green gills. You beat Hollow Knight. Oh, well, that certainly counts for something. Hollow Knight is a tough game. Now, here's the question. Is this motion control? You made that game. It's called Roll Goal. 5 rupees. Is this motion control? It is motion control. Come on. Come on. You Breath of the Wild shrine. I remember hating this on GameCube. It's probably worse on the Wii. Oh, bong. No, I'm good. Oh, that's too bad. And you need to, like, play all the levels of that game to get the lure that lets you catch the Hylian Loach and impress her. Oh. Take it easy, there's no call for that. What if I... Come on, you can't... I have to ask you to leave.
Hey.
You're being a jerk, get out! Well, I thought women liked jerks. Well, okay. So let's see. I need to get in the boat to grab that heart piece. What games have you played besides Dark Souls 3? Dark Souls 1, DS2, and then also Bloodborne. I played those 3. Those are the 3 that I have played. Alright, a little early. A little earlier than usual, chat. But I am low on energy. And we've got a clean break. Got a clean break. In between dungeons. So I'm gonna try and get food and nap maybe. But let's head to the chatting screen. I want to thank you all for being here today. This has been fun. I made it through 2 dungeons. We made it through the Temple of Time. What games have you played that's the least hard? Excellent question. It's hard to say, really, because the first one was difficult for me because it was my first Souls game and I'm still adjusting. But also, it's the most exploitable of the series. I've heard Elden Ring's pretty easy going, like, relatively speaking. I should play Elden Ring. That's the next one I want to play. Three's all, I don't know. They're all hard. I don't know what to say. Let's see. Who's live right now? Ooh. Let's raid Gibbet the Frog. Let's raid Gibby. He is a cool guy. He is playing the evil within. So let's /raid Gibbet. Not Ginnit. Gibbet. The Frog. Boom. We're gonna raid Gibby. And so I think of the experiences that equalize, DS one's the easiest since moves that simple. That makes sense of the bosses. I mean, Orskin and Smo is still a wall. But yeah, we're gonna raid Gibby, so everybody be nice to him. And thank you all for being here. I appreciated having you in chat, and if you only ever lurked, I really do appreciate you lurking. And to everybody watching from VODland, hello! And thank you for joining us today. Yeah, thank you for being here, Marmalade. With that, tomorrow, if I'm feeling well, I'll play more Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is a game I am very, very liking. And then on Thursday, it'll be more Minecraft. That's this week in Broseph content, assuming I can sleep whatever I've got right now off. So let's hit you with the ending screen, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, love you, bye.